So our very first video that we're going to do is we're going to actually start by focusing on how to self-massage the neck and do it standing, uh, you know, without lying on the ground. Okay, because there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, and one of the things that we haven't talked about in the first video that I should is that when you're self-massaging, the more weight that you put into the ball or the roller, the more that you're going to feel. All right. So sometimes, things are so sensitive that you just can't get really aggressive on it. You have to start light, right? So a simple rule of thumb is that if you do things standing, you're going to be able to be a lot lighter in terms of how much pressure you put into the area of pain. And so, a lot of times with a neck, you really don't have a whole lot of tissue back here, right? I mean, you kind of push on the muscles in your neck, there's not a whole lot of depth of tissue. So a lot of times we start with just a simple lacrosse ball, and what we do is we take it like this, all right, on the back, and we use our hands and just kind of gently massage through that tissue. We start at the base of the skull, so literally just like that, and you kind of roll through it, all right? And you'll find there's a lot of sensitive stuff up there, a lot right through the base of the skull. And when I say that, I'm referring right to that area, okay? We call that headache central. Those suboccipitals that are there, they're little tiny muscles that attach from the cervical spine up into the base of the skull. They get super, super sensitive. And if you gently massage through that, you can actually help alleviate a lot of the headaches that you get. So by starting with a lacrosse ball and just gently going through that, that will help you a great deal. Now, as you go down to the bottom of the neck, you'll actually start and get to the top of the shoulders. That can get a little tricky, and so here's how you do it. First, you take the ball and you put it basically right up against the wall, all right? And we're gonna get a little closer to the wall here, all right? And so what I'll do is I'll go like this, and now the ball is right there on the top of my shoulder. Now notice how I'm leaning and I'm arching into the wall. Now if I'm gonna go real light, I'll stand up tall and I'll go just light as a feather, all right? And like when you're really hot and it's super sensitive, this is all you need to do, and it will hurt good, all right? Not bad, like nothing inappropriate is coming out of my mouth and I'm not thinking it, right? So as that gets more tolerable, you can get more aggressive, all right? And so as I step away from the wall and I lean more into the wall, I'm putting a lot more weight and a lot more pressure into that contact, and I can get in there really good, and I can actually I can feel how I'm rolling right over, those knots that you get in your shoulders, like when you're massaging your husband or your wife, you're like, dang, man, you got knots. Like that's what you're trying to target with this ball and just kind of ease into it, okay? So, when you're doing this, one of the things that we talk about, again, pain does not equal progress. I'm going to say it in every single video. Pain does not equal progress. When you're doing this, you want to focus on each area. Try to massage each area, no more than 1 to 2 minutes. All right, you can do it 3 or 4 times a day, but don't do it longer than 1 to 2 minutes. You can definitely flare things up and make things worse, and that's the last thing you want to do, okay? If at any point after you massage, if you feel like it's sensitive to touch, like kind of bruisey sore, like you just rub your fingers right over it, you've gone past that zone of tolerance. You've actually created an inflammatory response, and it's really important that you ice it down to calm that inflammation down, all right? Because, again, the goal is to manage this and not make anything worse, okay? So the next video we're going to do is we're going to show you how to do the neck, but we're going to show you how to do it on the floor. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon.